Shabbat Shalom. Blessed be Yahweh. Blessed be Yahweh, the King of the universe, who selected us from all the peoples and gave us his Torah. Blessed be Yahweh, giver of the Torah. Master, we come before you today on your set-apart day, thanking you for all things, asking you to forgive us of our sins, cleanse us of unrighteousness, that our prayers be not hindered this morning. Hear our cries, O Master, and give ear to our supplications this day. This is your set-apart day, Master, that you have set apart for us to gather. You have set apart for us to rest. For you said that you made the world in 6 days, and the seventh day you rested, so we shall also rest. And this shall be a covenant between you and the children of Israel, who set this day apart from all other days, and do not treat it as a common day, that we shall not profane this day. We thank you, Master, for life, health, and strength. We thank you for food, clothing, and shelter. We thank you for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We thank you that you have brought us out of idolatry and that you have shown us your truth. We thank you, O King, and we ask that you will continue to have mercy upon us. The mercies that you renew every day, Heavenly Father, we ask that you continue to bless us. We thank you that you have brought us through this week, O Master, and that you have kept our children when they went throughout the highways and byways, and you brought them home safely to us once again. We thank you for all that are here today and the families that are represented. Oh, Master, we thank you for being our King, being our healer, being our deliverer, being our Savior. We thank you this day, O King. We ask that you will continue to go with us and stand by us and strengthen us, that you will still impart up in us more wisdom as we continue to go on. Master, we would ask that in that great day, that you would count us worthy to be in the number that you count amongst your treasured possession, that you would give us an opportunity for eternal life, that you would take us back to the land, and as your prophet said, that you would try us as you did our ancestors, and that you would give us a chance for eternal life, O King. We ask that you continue to go with us this week. We ask that you would bless this service, that you would touch the speaker today, that you would hear our praises and our adoration of you, and that it would be acceptable in your sight. In this we pray.
You are truly amazing, full of wonder and surprise. You're the life that breathes through me. With you I shall abide. You are truly amazing, full of wonder and surprise. You're the life that breathes through me. With you I shall abide. You're the sun that shines on me. You're my shelter from the rain. You're the breath I breathe, the song I sing. With you I shall abide. You're the sun that shines on me. You're my shelter through the rain. You're the creator of all living things. I will proclaim your name. You are truly amazing, full of wonder and surprise. You're the life that breathes through me. With you I shall abide. You are truly amazing, full of wonder and surprise. You're the life that breathes through me. With you I shall abide. You're the sun that shines on me. You're my shelter from the rain. You're the breath I breathe, the song I sing. With you I shall abide. Breathe on me. Breathe on me, yeah. I bow before you. I worship and adore you. Breathe on me. Breathe on me. Breathe on me, yeah. I bow to worship you. I surrender all I am to you. Breathe on me. are truly amazing, full of wonder and surprise. You're the life that breathes through me. With you I shall abide. Yeah. I say Shabbat Shalom to all of you. Shabbat Shalom. For this is the day that Yahweh has made. We all shall rejoice and be glad in it. I am so glad to see all of you who made it to the tabernacle this morning. And for those who are watching by stream in the chat room, I see you. I love you. For this is the day Yah has made, has ordained that we gather in a holy convocation to give him honor and for all the things that he's done for us this week and throughout our life. For we have challenges, but he's always there to meet our needs. I come to you with hands up raised. I come to you. I bow before your feet. I come to you. You're all I ever need. I come to you. Here we go. I come to you. Hey, with hands up raised. I come to you. I bow before your feet. I come to you. You're all I ever need. I come. Here we go, verse 1. River of living water that flows to life through me. You're the all-consuming fire. You're the air that I breathe. You are beauty for ashes. The essence of all things. I come to you. I come to you. Hey, with hands up praise, I come to you. I bow before your feet. I come to you. You're all I ever need. I come. Come on, verse 1. The river of living water that flows to life through me. You're the all-consuming fire. You're the air that I breathe. You are beauty for ashes. The essence of all things. I come. Come on, here we go. I come to you. Hey, with hands up raised, I come to you. I bow before your feet, I come to you. You're all I ever need, I come. Here we go, verse 2. You're the light in times of darkness, I put my trust in thee. You're there with me in battle, I claim the victory. I worship and adore you. Elohim, you are my king, I come to you. Here we go. I come to you. With hands up praise, I come to you. I bow before your feet, I come to you. You're all I ever need, I come. Here we go, my soul says yes. 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 Hey. My soul says yes. I come to you. With the hands up raised, I come to you. I bow before your feet, I come to you. You're all I ever need, I come to you. I come to you. With hands up raised, I come to you. I bow before your feet, I come to you. You're all I ever need, I come to you. I come to you. With hands up raised, I come to you. I bow before your feet, I come to you. You're all I ever need, I come. Here we go, my soul says yes. My soul says yeah. My soul says yeah. Hey. My soul says yeah. My soul says yeah. My soul says yeah. Yeah. My soul says yeah. Hey. My soul says yeah. So yeah, I come to you with my hands upraised. I come to you. I bow before your feet. I come to you. You're all I ever need. I come to you. I come to you. I come to you. I come to you. You're all I ever need. I come to you.
Shabbat shalom to everybody today. Good to see you in the house. And those of you that are watching by way of the stream, we welcome you into this day. For this is the day that Yahweh has made, and we shall rejoice and we shall be glad in it. Well, I'm going to talk about our book that was released last week, Torah for Hebrews in Exile. I want to say to those of you that are watching by the stream, if you haven't heard about it, this particular book here, Torah for Hebrews in Exile, are the commandments, mitzvot, that the Most High has given to us to live by and function in this exile. The book does not contain any commandments that are germane to animal sacrificing. They are germane to a way of life. This book right here, if you read it and you take it to heart and you understand, will ensure that you will have eternal life. Because eternal life with the Most High is predicated upon our obedience to the words that He has spoken to us. It also clarifies for you something that is very paramount amongst the religious world, and that is the aspect of identifying or talking about the Most High in a terminology in a way that does not fit Him. It explains the reason why I don't use the word God or use the word Lord. And in this particular book, you're going to get a wealth of information that you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get it from your pastors. You're not going to get it online. You can't find it in a bookstore. Nobody has written it. I've written it. So it's on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon, and it's a amenable price. You can get it in a hard copy, and you can also get it in the Kindle version where you can read it and look at it and begin to make the transitions that you need to have. I know that we have been raised with certain thought processes and certain ideas, but those ideas and thought processes do not line up with Scripture. And the question that you have to ask yourself is, what did the Most High say? Because if the Most High didn't say it, I'm going to use Johnny Cochran's words, you must have quit. If it don't fit, you must have quit. So this book is available to you, and also you'll find on the screen the QR code where you'll be able to make a donation to First Tabernacle Fellowship. If you're enjoying or learning anything from this house, please make a donation to support the ministry that's going on here so that we can continue to do what we do. Well, our teacher, Ambassador Sean Appleton, I see he's ready to go, and he's going to come and share with you today. I don't know what. I know the board says 1 Samuel, but we here at First Tabernacle are like a football team. If you know anything about a football team, the quarterback approaches the line of scrimmage, and the coach is sending a play, and then he looks it over and he audibles because things change. And sometimes the Most High sends us an audible, so we have to change. So I don't know what he's going to teach today. I know what the board says, but I don't know what he's going to teach. So anyway, Ambassador Sean Appleton.
Shabbat shalom. Amen. Well, we're here once again. One more again. I am excited and elated again to be here with you one more week to talk about the things germane to the Most High's teachings. I cannot even begin to thank the Most High. I come in that name of our ancestors. Eye Asher Eye. When Moshe introduced himself to our leaders, he came in the name of Eye Asher Eye, and I come before you in that name. I am appreciative of the fact that the Most High has allowed me to see another Shabbat, to allow me to participate in observing another mitzvah, which is on today. So to the beneficent, the Most High, I thank and give all praise and honor. Be glory to the leaders of this house, Robert B. Holman Jr., the Honorable Reverend Bishop. I can't even come up with the rest of them. Robert B. Holman, the Honorable Robert B. Holman Jr., and Kevin Holman, the leaders of this house. Shabbat shalom to you, gentlemen. To those of you that are joining by way of the stream, I'm delighted to have you today. We are across the country. We are spanning bodies of water with the message that we're teaching here. So for those of you that are joining by way of the stream, we appreciate you showing up and being a part of this pan-Hebrewism that we have. Again, that chat room is going crazy. Is it not? Yeah, you guys have more fun in that chat room than you do listening to me in the studio audience. If the chat room get too good, I'm going to be talking to myself, just a room and a camera somewhere. But at any rate, Shabbat shalom to all of you that are joining us by way of the stream. For those that are here, and those that are not here, to our descendants, Shabbat shalom. This message that we teach here is for you, because there's going to be a time that you're going to have to encounter some things like the Most High's mitzvot and be able to abide by them. But I got people here that need to wake up the ancestors, don't I? I got a bunch of y'all in here that need to wake up the ancestors. Y'all ready? That's y'all cue, okay, for y'all in the in-house, studio house audience. All right, that's your cue. So you know what to do, right? Let's get ready to rumble. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Excellent. I am going to, the Most High did not call an audible for me today. He did last week. And therefore, I wasn't able to get to the text that I wanted to get to. So we're going to pick up where we left off last time in the book of 1 Shemuel. But we're actually going to start in the middle of chapter number 20. Now, we're going to continue our series, but before I go any further, we usually do one thing, which is what? We do our question of the week. So 2 weeks ago, I asked all of you a question. I said, or anybody remember what I asked for you guys to look up? Who out of all the individuals in our story right now, as we are recounting the history of David, I'm giving you one person already, in the book of 1 Shemuel, who are our main players? And out of our main players that are Ibir, one important player is going to die between chapters number 20 and 26 or 25. Do you know who that is? King Shaul dies, but he doesn't die to the very end of it's Shemuel dies. And there really isn't a lot of fanfare when he dies. It's just, he has this one-liner that's in there. I think at the beginning of chapter number 25 is where you can find it. Is where the prophet and Kohanim, Shemuel, passes away. So that's good. You guys looked that up and you read that. which is awesome. But I'm going to continue on. I'm going to pick up where we kind of left off. But I want to give you some backstory for those of you that are just joining in and jumping into where we are. I'm going to back up to actually chapter number 19. I'm going to recount what we actually went over a little bit. So we've got this situation. Matter of fact, we've got our key players that are here. Who knows who they are in this story where we're at right now? In chapters number 19 moving forward, the key players in the story are whom? King Shaul and David. And who else is in here? Yehotanan's in here, yes. Who else? Shemuel's in there. All right, good. You got the highlights of the people that are the main players here. So what we have at the beginning of chapter 19, if we're recounting what happens, is Yehotanan goes to David and they're having a conversation. And David is asking this question, what have I done that was so bad that where your dad hates me? And so Yehotanan responds and says, hey, don't worry about it. I'm going to bring you back into the fold. I'm going to talk to my father. He goes and talks to his dad, which is whom? Melech Shaul. The Hebrew word for king is Melech. Melech Shaul, he goes and talks to. Listen, you know what? I need my help in the back. Help me. I'm off and running. And I didn't do something. Matter of fact, that's a good transition. Even though we're going to be in 1 Shemuel, chapter number 21 and 22 I have up here on the board, we will probably maybe get to 21 on what happens through 21. 22 I don't believe we're going to get to today, but that's not up to me. That's up to the Most High. We'll see what happens here. All right, so that picks back up. So David is having this conversation with Yehotanan. Yehotanan is older than he is, okay? He's his best friend. And he's trying to protect him from his father. He goes to his father. He says, what has David done that was so bad? And he actually convinces his father that David is an okay guy. Now, everybody understand what David's role is in the court of Melech Shaul. What is David? What is his job? He's a musician and the armor bearer. Very good. He holds those two positions. And he's quite the warrior. At that particular time, you guys, these Hebrews are awesome. Do you know who the commander of the army is? It is Melech Shaul's cousin by the name of Abner. So Abner is the chief general, if you will, for Hebrew Israel. So what you have is this situation where Yehotanan convinces his dad successfully that David's okay. David comes back into the fold. He's back there, and then he goes off and he wins these couple of these wars for the kingdom or the empire of Israel. And then as he comes back, it says an evil spirit set itself down on Melech Shaul, and he got angry at David, threw his spear or his javelin at him and tried to kill him. David flees. So this is reneging on this thing that actually what you have up above in chapter 19, you have this narrative between Shaul and David where he says, I'm not going to kill you. I swear I'm not going to kill you. I can make this oath that I'm not going to kill you. He obviously breaks that. Hook, line, and sinker. As he breaks this oath and David flees and escapes, he goes home to his wife. Now, Melech Shaul is telling these people, I want you to go ahead and I want you to go to his house and I want you to kill him. We're going to have a stakeout, all right, for you CSI people. We're going to have a stakeout at his house. So they assemble all of their victuals and comestibles and things that they need to have, their weaponry, in order to go and get David. And they camp out. While David's at his house, he encounters his wife. His wife's name is Michal. Michal and David have this exchange where she's saying, these individuals are out here, they're getting ready to kill you. So, what does she do? She lets him out of the window to escape. And then what does she do next? Remember that narrative that we had last time about how when they showed up at the house to come get David, to kill him, that what they found was what? What does she do? So what the text says is that she took an idol and put it in a bed, put hair on it, and made it act like it was David who was sleeping. And the question on the table is that if she took an idol, first of all, the idol was as tall as a man. So that's not something that you're hiding in the house somewhere, okay? And why is David, a Torah-compliant individual, have a life-size idol in his house? How is that possible? But then we went ahead and we looked at the word study and the etymology of the word that's actually in there when it says that she took. When you look at the word took in Hebrew, it's more of an acquired or procured. So it reads more like, and what she did was that she went out and got a household idol from somewhere, brought it inside, and played it off as if it was David. Think of it, she went outside and she got the scarecrow and put the scarecrow in the bed from outside. Make sense? Okay. So she does that, and so they discover that he's not there. She goes before her dad, and she folds in front of her father. What does she say? Her father asks her something. He says, why are you harboring this person that is our enemy? Where is he? Bring him to me. And she says, what? Why didn't you bring him to me? Because he threatened to kill me. So right there, she's telling you right now that she'll fold at the drop of a dime, even though she's in love with David and she wants to protect him. And that's, you see the evidence of and the data of that, because she allowed him to get out of the window, and then she went ahead and got an idol and tried to play it off like it was him in the bed to try to get these people to go away. So she has love for her husband, but she knows that her father will kill her on the spot. So she folds, just like any good child that knows that they're going to get a whooping. They know that a spanking is imminent, so they will tend to lie to get out of it. I know none of you have been there. That's only about me. So, after this narrative in 19 about Michal letting David or having him get away, and then she confronting her father, and her father going ahead and making sure that, because he's asking the question, he says, hey, listen, I don't care if he's sick or not, bring the bed to me. Then he asks his daughter the question, how come you didn't bring him? And she says, we was trying to kill me. David flees, and he goes to the prophet's dormitory, which is in Ramah, the city of the birthplace of whom? Shemuel. Shemuel is teaching at the prophet's dormitory. All right? So we have this narrative that says what? It says that he learns, or Melech Shaul learns of whom? David being at the prophet's dormitory. So he sends messengers. Now, what happens to these messengers? What happens? That's right. And they started what? Prophesying. So that's the first wave. Second wave of messengers goes, and what happens to them? Same thing? Okay. So they end up what? Prophesying. There's a third wave that actually goes, I believe, in the text. What happens to them? Same thing. Third time's a charm. All right, so we have this ability now to understand cognitively that, oh, these people keep going down there, and they are under the influence of the Most High, and they're prophesying. Now, Melech Shaul is going down there himself to see what's going on. He goes down there, and while he's on his way there, what happens to him? He starts prophesying. And then at the end of the text, it says that he was prophesying, and he was laying there naked all day and night prophesying. Now, the question on the table is, we all, remember we went through that last time? We automatically assume that when he's prophesying about something good. And that's not so, okay? Because what I tried to establish last time I spoke was when you look at the word nakedness as it appears in text, even in the mouth of prophets. When we talk about nakedness, nakedness is a deplorable thing. So when we're talking about, you can get my beautiful wife on camera. I know y'all will. Like she's scurrying off. Thank you. So we've got this idea that says that, hey, we have this issue of nakedness, and we assume that it's good. All right? Why? That's because of your first world westernized cultural programming. Because every time you walked up into somebody's church, they were prophesying about something that was good that was going to happen to you. They never prophesied about anything that was bad that was going to happen to you. So anytime that you hear about somebody being a prophet, that you automatically think, oh, you got a good word to give me. Because that's your programming coming out of the Christian church. Tell me where you sat up in somebody's church and they prophesied and they said, you know what? You're going to get in a car accident next week. You're going to be near to death. Your kidneys are going to fail next week. And that's the prophecy over your life. They won't do that. Why? Because they will empty that church in a heartbeat. I don't want to go here. Y'all condemning me to something that, I came here to hear a good word. So that is your 20th century first world, westernized world of thinking. Okay? So we understand that if we look at what's happening as far as nakedness is concerned, that he's prophesying about something negative. What? Prophesying about the downfall of his kingdom. He's hearing it come out of his own mouth. Now, this is eisegesis on the text because it doesn't necessarily say that, but we have to use the data that's around it. I'm using my precedent from the prophets to prove that nakedness, when we talk about it, is something deplorable. So when he lays there all day naked, that issue comes up to say, okay, it can't be anything good. What can he be prophesying about? Speculation, but the downfall of his kingdom. So now what supports that is what we're going to see moving forward is that David now becomes the enemy of the state. He is a priority. When the Twin Towers fell in New York, who was the national target that the United States was going after? What was his name? Osama bin Laden. That's what we were going after. David is now Osama bin Laden to Melech Shaul. He must be captured at all costs. Okay? That's where we are at the end of 19. As we progress into chapter number 20. Let's put chapter number 20 up there. All right. In chapter number 20, we've got David at the prophet's dormitory, still with Melech Shaul, with the prophet and Kohen, Shemuel. And we've got this issue where Yehochanan shows up to see about his friend. And they're having this discord, and I'm going to paraphrase until we get actually to the middle of 20, where 16 is where we're going to start reading again. We're going to be really reading intensive today, okay? All right. So they have this conversation. They're saying, hey, you know what? Heaven forbid you're not going to die. So he's reassuring him that his father, he won't let anything happen to him. And as they're having this conversation, I was getting ready to say discord, but my kids and all you social media folks got on my case last time when I said, oh, don't use that word discord, because people think you're going to a social media site. And I didn't even know discord half the time was a real thing. I guess I'm trying to tell you how old I am. But moving on, Yehochanan is assuring David in verse number 4, anything you want me to do, I will do for it. And David answers him. He says, look, tomorrow is the Rosh Chodesh. And I'm going to slow this thing way down again. Rosh Chodesh. Everybody understand what the Rosh Chodesh is? It's the new month, not the new moon. Go look it up in Hebrew. The word for moon is Yerekah. The word for month in Hebrew is Chodesh. So, anybody coming to you saying, oh, look at the new moon. It's the beginning of the month. That's wrong. The moon is not locked to when the first of the month is. We all know that because we have our handy-dandy Hebrew calendar to let us know that. And by the way, I'm going to do a shameless plug. That thing should be out by the beginning of the year. I'm almost done wrapping that up. So look forward to that. That'll be your 2024-2025 Hebrew calendar. So he says tomorrow is the Rosh Chodesh, which is the new month, which the new month is what? It is a Shabbat. It is a holy convocation. You have these proofs in Bad Midbar, which is chapter number 10 and verse 10. And then you also have it in Bad Midbar, chapter number 28, verses 11 through 15, that talk about the Rosh Chodesh and how we are to govern it and observe it. Okay? It is a set-apart day. It is a Shabbat. Now, when we get down to verse 6, he's saying, said, if your father misses me and says, so what's this issue that he's getting ready to talk to him about? He said he's supposed to be at this dinner with Melech Shaul. He's one of the people that's supposed to be here. He's part of the court. And so if David is not there, they're coming up with this plan so David doesn't have to be in the presence of Melech Shaul because he knows Melech Shaul is going to kill him. So he's giving him an excuse, all right? So he said, let's pick up in verse 6. He says, if your father misses me at all, say, I'm going to read up here. David begged me to let him hurry to Bethlehem, his city, because it is the annual sacrifice there for his whole family. If he says, very good, then your servant will be all right. But if he gets angry, you will know, therefore, show kindness to your servant, for your bond, your servant, for you bound, your servant to yourself by a covenant before Eye Asher Eye. But if I have done something wrong, kill me yourself. Why turn me over to your father? So what is he saying? He says, when you get there and you say that, and he asked the question, why is David not here? There's two responses that he's looking for. If he doesn't get angry, so be it. He doesn't have this anger to come after David. But if he gets angry about it, then you know something is up. It's going to be very quite obvious. And he says, if he does come after me and get a hold of me, I would rather you kill me than your father. Why? Your father hates David to the core. It's like saying, I watch a lot of mafia movies. And in those mafia movies, matter of fact, there's a guy by the name of Sammy the Bull Gravano. Anybody know who he is? He's still alive. He's part of the Gambino crime family, one of the 5 families of New York. And Sammy does a good job of telling good stories about the history of Omerta and La Cosa Nostra. As he's telling these stories, there's a story that he says, I got called out to some of these hits that I had to do. And you ask yourself the question, why are they asking the best friend to do the hit? They're asking the best friend to do the hit because of 2 reasons. Number 1, they're close and they can get inside. Number 2, the fact of the matter is that because they're friends, the way the person will die will be humane. Instead of somebody who you don't know coming to kill you. They may maim you, they may tear you apart, but at least I know because you're my friend, you won't let me suffer. Okay? So that's in the world of the mafia. All right? So I'm relating this, and it kind of sparked my memory to that when I saw that. It says, if I ever learn that my father, when he goes back up, and he says, where are we at? Let's go to right there. It says, I have done something wrong. Kill me yourself. So I'd rather you kill me than your father, because I know your father is not going to be merciful. He probably will do something abominable to me. It says, why turn me over to your father? Yehochanan said, heaven forbid, if I ever were to learn that my father had definitely decided to harm you, wouldn't I tell you? Then David asked Yehochanan, who will tell me in the event of your father gives you a harsh answer? What happens if your father says, make an oath with you right now? You are not to tell David of any of this. He's binding him to a mitzvot now, which tells him, it says, you can't say anything. So David is asking the question, what happens in the event that you get bound up in a way where you can't get to me to tell me that danger is imminent? Let's see how Yehochanan answers. It says, Yehochanan said to David, come, let's go out to the countryside. They went out, both of them, to the countryside, Yehohanan said to David, Eye asher eye, the El of Israel, the empire of Israel, is witness after I have sounded out my father about this time tomorrow, or the third day. Then, if things look good for David, I will send and let you know. All right, Hebrews. There's a number that's in there. Because anybody, the number that sticks out, he says something real poignant in the last couple of sentences there. There's a number there. He says, I want to, what? There you go. There you go. There it is right there. It says, after I have sounded out my father about this time tomorrow or the third day. Why does he say the third day? What does the third day have to do with anything? It's very remedial, and it will be obvious as we get further along. But I want to give it to you now. Third day. We know, come on, we got to deduce this whole entire thing and pick it apart like a forensic scientist. No, I thought that too. When I said, okay, is this relating to some type of festival? Is this talking about a festival? And what festival would it be? So let's think about that for a second. Is there a festival that's for 3 days to where David is going to be away, where he could use that as an excuse to be away? Is there a festival like that? No, there isn't. Let me give it to you. No, it's not. Let's think about it for a second. The first day he said, what? It's the Rosh Chodesh. That's a set-apart day. It's a new month. He's not there at the dinner. Okay. Shaul, or Melech Shaul, is going to assume that something's wrong with David, that he's unclean, as to why he can't be there. So on the second day, when David doesn't show up for the dinner, he's going to ask a question. Now, wait a minute. What in the world is going on here? This is the second day he's not here. And you're going to find out later on that he has this exchange with his son, and because of that exchange, on the third day, they sent out the hit squad. So that is why he's putting that in there early. They already know that it's going to be a 3-day lag, because the first day is the Rosh Chodesh. That's fine. You can get away with that. The second day you don't show up, then we're going to have a problem. On the third day, that's when the hit squad comes out. So that's why they already know it's going to be a 3-day deal. All right? When these numbers show up like this, again, we got to stop reading over stuff. Let's pick it apart. Let's understand it. All right? It's the only way we or our descendants are going to know. All right. Let's say on the third day, then if things look good for David, I will send and let you know. But if my father intends to do you harm, may Eye do as much and more to me if I don't let you know and send you away so that you may go in peace, or shalom. It says, and may Eye be with you just as he used to be with my father. Let him be with you just as he was with my dad, when my dad and the Most High were on speaking terms before they got the document of separation, before their irreconcilable differences that they had. It says, however, you are to show me, Yahweh's kindness, not only while I'm alive so that I do not die, but also after Yahweh has eliminated every one of David's enemies from the face of the earth. You are to continue showing kindness to my family forever. I gave you a little bit of a dissertation on that. David's not going to honor that, because we have this issue of the Gibeonites. What happens earlier on with Yehoshua, as they come across the Jordan and they get in there, there's these group of individuals called the Gibeonites. They live in the land of Canaan, right? The descendants, who are the Canaanites, are the descendants of whom? Ham. That's right. You are the descendants of whom? Shem. Some people are the descendants of Yafet. These people are the descendants of Ham. They came in, so these were melanated people. Okay? So these are melanated people coming to melanated folk. All right? They come to who? Yahushua, and they say, we've traveled afar off. We have these tattered clothes, and we got this crumbled up bread in our pockets. We want to join in league with you. We want to be the foreigner in Hebrew Israel. He says, fine. As long as you are with us, nobody is going to touch you. He made an oath between themselves and the Gibeonites. Later on, what we're going to see is Melech Shaul starts executing the Gibeonites. And so they go to David later on and they say, David, we want restitution for all this oath being broken. We want the descendants of Melech Shaul to be exterminated. He gives them 5 from his ex-wife, Michal, and he gives them 2 from the lineage, I think some of the sons or grandsons of, the sons of Melech Shaul. So there's 7 total, and they hung them from a tree. So this issue, now he says, the reason why I bring that up is it says, kindness to my family forever. My family. So Yehotanan's sister is whom? Michal, right? That's his sister. So he should have honored that. Okay, but he didn't. That you see later on. All right. This is nerdy. I'm sorry. Hold on. Maybe I need to do some jumping jacks up here for y'all. I'll do something. All this nerdy information you're giving us. All right, let's go on. It says, thus, Yehotanan made a covenant with the family of David, adding, may Yahweh seek his fulfillment even through David's enemies. That's going to come up. I want you to remember that. Please remember that. That's going to come up. My wife and my mother-in-law have this saying that I've taken to heart about birthing things into the atmosphere, speaking things out of your mouth. This right here is going to come up, where he says, may Yahweh seek his fulfillment even through David's enemies. Where's the famous saying? Come on. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. All right. Yehotanan had David swear it again because of the love he had for him. He loved him as he loved himself. And then again, I hate to do this to y'all, but I don't care. Come for us, cancel us, I don't care. But I'm not going to trample or go or sweep Torah under the rug, okay? So who this is addressed to, if you want to come over to the Hebrew Masoretic text and make it an abomination by proving that this is an LGBTQ whatever statement in here to support your narrative, you are way out of bounds. This is not even talking about love for a man to a man in an erotic fashion. This is talking about a love that, I have for this person because I respect them so much. Okay? So, let's clean it up where we can. See, it says right here he loved. Oh, my goodness. All right. This is what we have to do. We use y'all text and shake the dust off our feet and keep moving. Yehotanan said to him, tomorrow is Rosh Chodesh, which is the new month. And you will be missed because your seat will be empty. The 3rd day, hide yourself well in the same place because they know what? The hit squad's coming on the 3rd day. So the 3rd day, hide yourself well in the same place as you did before. Stay by the departure stone. I will shoot 3 arrows. Listen to the code. I will shoot 3 arrows to one side as if I were shooting at a target. Then, if I send my boy to recover them, if I tell the boy, they're here on this side of you, take them, then come. It means that everything is peaceful for you as YAHWEH lives. There's nothing wrong. So we clear about what's happening. On the third day, go by the departure stone. Hide. I'm going to shoot 3 arrows out there. This is going to be our code. All right? It's going to be our code word. So when I shoot those 3 arrows out there, if I say, oh, they're close to you, it's near to you, and I'm paraphrasing, then everything's peaceful. Now let's read if the adverse happens. Let's continue on. It says, they're here on this side of you. Take them, then come. It means that everything is peaceful for you as YAHWEH lives. There's nothing wrong. But if I tell the boy the arrows are out there beyond you, then get going, because YAHWEH is sending you away. As for the matter we discussed earlier, Yahweh is between you and me forever. So if they're beyond you, then something's up. So are you envisioning what's happening? Okay, let's just do it. Departure stone. David's hiding at the departure stone. Yehoshaphat would have already gotten intel already about whether or not, because he knows that if he's not at that dinner, he knows the temperature of his father. So he'll know at that time what's going to happen. So what happens? He goes out. He's going to have this young lad with him. He's going to shoot these 3 arrows at the departure stone. If they shoot the 3 arrows at the departure stone, and he tells the young boy, he says, hey, they're near, right on that side over there, everything's peaceful. If they're beyond the stone, he tells the boy they're beyond the stone, then something's up. Then David needs to know that you need to leave immediately. That's this code that they have. Everybody clear? All right. So David hid himself in the countryside. When Rosh Chodesh came, the king sat at his usual place by the wall. Yehoshaphat stood up, and whom? Abner. Who is Abner? His general. His general. And Abner sat next to Shaul. But David's place was empty. However, Shaul didn't say anything that day because he thought something has happened to him. He is unclean. Yes, that is, he isn't clean. Now, let's ask a question. What would make you unclean as to where you can't come to a holy convocation as a man? Because I know for females, there's one that should be ringing right out. That one that does with your nidah. But for a man, what would make him unclean? Thank you. Come on. Come on. Yes and yes. Yes. Thank you. So, what happens here? The writer of this text assumes that you know what uncleanliness is to a guy on the Shabbat. He's not enumerating them. He says, you've read the mitzvot. You've understand them. You already know. So when Melech Shaul makes this statement, it could be a myriad of things. So that's why he just blows it off. I don't know what it could be. He's possibly unclean. Okay. No harm, no foul. Yehoshaphat answered Shaul. David begged me. Now, remember what they said. He says, I'm going to tell my dad what? That he begged me to let him go back to his hometown and where? Bethlehem for an annual sacrifice with his family members. So he couldn't be here. So depending on how your father answers, you'll know whether or not he's going to kill me or not. This is the setup. You already know the backstory. So let's see how this plays out. All right? Okay. I don't know why I am so parched today. The day after Rosh Chodesh, the second day, David's place was empty. And Shaul said to Yehoshaphat, his son, why hasn't Yeshai's son come to the meal either yesterday or today? Now something's wrong. We only had the Rosh Chodesh. That was a holy day. The second day ain't the holy day, and he's missing. What's up? Okay? Yehoshaphat answered Shaul. David begged begged me to let him go to Bethlehem. He said, please let me go because our family has a sacrifice in the city and my brother demanded that I come. So now, if you look on me favorably, please let me get away to see my brothers. That's what he's saying David said to him, to Yehohanan. That is why he hasn't come to the king's table. At that, Shaul did what? So now we know what? He's angry. He knows that, okay, I've already what? Professed out of my mouth the prophecy of my kingdom and my downfall, probably to whom it's going to be at. And now this particular individual whom everybody likes, who's probably the next successor to me, is gone. I wonder if he's creating a coup. I wonder if something's going on. And what did I say before? What you're going to see is David now become top priority. He's now Osama bin Laden. Okay. It says, at that Shaul flew into a rage at Yehohanan and said, come on, he said what to him? He said, you crooked rebel. Don't I know that you've made this son of Yeshai your best friend? You don't care that you're shaming yourself and dishonoring your mother? Do you? Because as long as the son of Yeshai lives on the earth, neither you nor your kingdom will be secure. Now send and bring him here to me. He deserves to die. Okay. This issue, we know that he's enraged. He knows that he's coming after him. But I want to add another component that's in here. Why he calls him a rebel. Why he gets so angry and condemns his son. Think about something here. What does David have who's one person that Shaul doesn't? That's a trick question. Favor? Yeah, okay. So if I was to draw a circle and there's a campfire in the middle, you just walked in the door. Okay? What could it possibly be that adds to the fact that why Shaul is so upset at Yehohanan? Listen, y'all two have worked in a correctional facility, right? How severe is it to have a snitch among you? Whoa, wait a minute. From the back. Snitches get stitches and wind up in ditches. Look at how he answers him. He says to him, he says, Yehohanan, this person deserves to die. You crooked rebel. You snitching on me to your homeboy. He realizes it's up front. I got a snitch in my midst, and it's my own son. And you don't think that I know that you a snitch? Listen, and I want you to understand, son, that I know what is going on, but you need to understand the greater good of what's happening here. Don't you care that this kingdom of the Most High you will inherit? Let's appeal to your logic for a second. All of this will be yours to rule as you choose in the way of the Most High. And you don't care about that? And you would rat out your own dad doing it too? Let's see what he does to his son. So Yehohanan answered Shaul, his father, why should he be put to death? He's vouching for his friend. He's just confirming what Shaul already knows, is that, okay, if you didn't like him, you'd be like, I don't care about this dude, kill him, by all means. But he knows that he likes him. So what does Yehohanan do? He goes ahead and he starts defending his friend. He says, why should he be put to death? What has he done? But Shaul threw his spear at him, aiming to what? Kill him. So now that you want to become an aid to this person who is on the run, you now become aiding and abetting. And you become now an enemy of the state too. And I don't care if you're my son. You have to die. So, aiming to kill him, Yehohanan could no longer doubt that his father was determined to put David to death. It says Yehohanan got up from the table in a fury, and he ate no food the second day of the month because he was upset over David and because his father had put him to shame. It says the next morning, what's that day? The third day. The next morning, Yehohanan went out into the country, and at that time had arranged with David, taking with him a young boy. He told the boy, now run and find the arrows I'm about to shoot. As the boy ran, he shot the arrows beyond. So what does that mean? It's time for you to get out of here. It's time to book, kick rocks, leave. It's time for your mass exodus out of here. All right? We know that. So just by reading that. Now run and find the arrows I'm about to shoot. As the boy ran, he shot the arrow beyond him. When the boy reached the place where the arrows was, Yehohanan had shot. Yehohanan shouted at the boy, isn't the arrow beyond you? Yehohanan continued shouting after the boy, quick, hurry, don't just stand there. Yehohanan's boy gathered the arrows and returned to his master. But the boy didn't understand anything about the matter. Only Yehohanan and David understood. Yehohanan gave his weapons to his boy and said to him, go, carry them to the city. As soon as the boy had gone, David got up from the place south of the stone, fell face down on the ground and prostrated himself 3 times, and kissed one another and wept, each with the other until it became too much for David. Yehohanan said to David, go in peace, and I can see why. This will probably be the last time I see you. You've helped me out so much. You have been my friend, my only ally. And this will be the last time I will probably see you. Yehohanan said to David, go in peace, because we have sworn, both us in the name of Asher that Yahweh will be between me and you and between my descendants and yours forever. 21, so David got up and left, and Yehohanan went back to the city. This poor guy. This poor guy. David went to see Ahimelech. You already know part of his name is what? King, because of the word Melech in there. The Kohen in Nav. This is a message for everybody, but especially for the theme, if I was going to teach one, if I was in the Christian church, and on this, would be no good deed goes unpunished. When we read about the story of this gentleman right here, Ahimelech, who is the Kohanim, who now is meeting David, no good deed goes unpunished. Let's read on. It says, Ahimelech came trembling to meet David. Why? Come on, think about it. Ahimelech is under the rule of whom? Shaul. And you got a fugitive coming to you. Osama bin Laden just showed up at your door. And you telling me you just like, oh, come on. I got some chitlins in the back waiting for you. I know. Look, y'all should have seen the eyes of these folks in here roll when I said chitlins. You're not going to welcome him in. You're going to have some apprehension. Somebody like that has a stature of that fugitive status like that shows up at your doorstep. So we can understand why he's trembling to meet David and ask, why are you alone? Why is no one with you? David said to Ahimelech, the Cohen, the king has sent me. Now listen to what David is saying. David's not being that honest here. So your anointed king forever has to go to some tactics that sometimes are not desirable to save his own skin, okay? And rightly so. Just because he is who he is doesn't mean that the man's perfect. I mean, come on. Any of one of us would have probably done the same thing. You're a fugitive on the run and you're David. Come on. What does it say about David? It says he's a ruddy looking guy, but he's fine as all get out. They sing of him. You've conquered. What does it say? Shaul is killed thousands, but David has killed tens of thousands. He is a TikTok viral sensation. Everybody knows him. And when he shows up and you're alone, okay, something's up. I'm beating that one. That horse has been turned to glue, like Cat Williams said. That's a glue truck over there. I have a ram. Where am I at? I lost my own place. Let's go back to where it says, David said to Ahimelech the Cohen, the king has sent me on a mission and told me not to let anyone know its purpose or what I have been ordered to do. I've arranged a place where the guards are to meet me. Now, what do you have on hand if you can spare 5 loaves of bread? Give them to me, or whatever is there. The Cohen answered David. So what is he? He talks to the Kohanim, says, he gives him this line, kind of gaslight him a little bit, kind of calm him down. And he says, I need rations. I'm hungry. Do you have any food that you can spare? Says the Kohen answered David, I don't have any regular bread. However, there's the consecrated bread. Where is he talking about? He's talking about the showbread. And the showbread is stacked in two columns, 6 high on each side. There is a mitzvot that is on the showbread. Now again, the writer assumes you know the mitzvot about the showbread. All right? So this will give you some exposition and some backstory as to what day it is, because the mitzvot talks about that. Let's go there for a second. Matter of fact, since we are already there, we are going to jump right into that. Vayikra, chapter number 24, verse 5 through 9 is the law for the showbread. Okay? Let's read that. It says, you are to take fine flour and use it to bake 12 loaves, 1 gallon per loaf. Arrange them in how many rows? 2. Stack them how high? 6 in a row. On the pure table before Yahweh. Put what? Frankincense. Frankincense. With each row to be an offering made by fire to Yahweh in the place of the bread and as a reminder of it. Regularly. What does it say? Regularly. Okay, so let's find out what regularly is. Every what? So we're supposed to do what? So this guy's job is to change out the bread every Shabbat. Okay? So that gives us some backstory. Now let's head on back over to chapter number 21. Let's pick up with verse 8. I want to say something right now, and I got to do this while I have it on my mind, because after I get done talking, people will tell you the person on stage is not the person when I'm done talking. I get real introverted when I'm not on stage, and I tend to forget stuff, but I want to say this right now. This is my second time talking without this podium. And Sister Harless back there is keeping me on track so much. And I cannot thank you enough. My goodness, you are keeping me where I need to be, which is moving forward. But, okay. The Kohanim answered David, I don't have any regular bread. However, there's consecrated bread, but only if the guards have abstained from women. You can't have this bread because if they were with women, then what? They're unclean. Okay, now, Look at all the women in here. Wait a minute. What does being with a woman make me unclean for? All right. I want to take you over to a story of David and Uriah. There's a mitzvot that pops up that Uriah observes that the Kohanim is bringing up right now. He's saying you can't have this if they're unclean. Now, let's put it in the proper context. If a man and a woman have intercourse, they are unclean until evening. That's right. Or anything that semen emission falls on is unclean. You have to wash it. You'll be unclean until evening. That's what the Torah mitzvot says. So if something's going on at high noon, you got a couple of hours before you're clean again. All right? So you can't have this. Now let's think about what happens to Uriah, how he answers David. Matter of fact, I want to read some more. It says, David answers the Kohen, of course women have been kept away from us, and away from us. As on previous campaigns, whenever I go out on campaign, the men's gear is clean. Even if it's an ordinary trip, how much more than today when they will be putting something consecrated in their packs. Now, he gives you the declaration of how he runs his army. He says, when my men go out to war, they're clean. So that answers the question that Christianity never gave you, which is what? When Uriah comes back, you're saying, well, Uriah, how come you don't want to be with your wife? And he gives him this answer. He says, the reason I don't want to be with my wife was, hey, listen, everybody else is out there. That's because there's a mitzvot that he's trying to do. I can't be unclean. So if everybody else is out there and they're clean, why would I sleep with my wife and become unclean? He's instantiating a mitzvot, which is, if you read this text, you read the Most High, you see these mitzvot come up way earlier than they do. So we have that element that's there. Okay, let's keep going. It says, so the Kohanim gave him the consecrated bread because there was, and I'm sorry to my viewers that are out there and you people that are new, these mitzvot are ingrained in me, and they just come out. So if I'm not giving you the backstory of where they are, put something in the chat room or write us. I'll give you the scripture references on where these all are. You can go look them all up for yourself. So the Kohanim gave him the consecrated bread because there was no bread there other than the showbread that had been removed from Yahweh to be replaced by freshly baked bread on the day the old bread was removed. That is a Torah mitzvah. He's compliant, correct? Okay, very good. He's following it. Read what's there, Sean. One of the servants of Shaul happened to be there that day, detained before Yahweh. His name was Doeg the Edomi. He's an Edomite. Now, ask yourself the question. Let's not breeze over this. What is an Edomite doing in the court of Melech Shaul? Working for him. Well, aren't we supposed to be employing Hebrews? So why is this Edomite, one of the servants of Shaul there? Come on, it's easy. You can be a foreigner in the land of Israel amongst our people. All these mitzvot apply to you too. Just because he's an Edomite and he's on the court doesn't mean that he can't serve, or he's an Edomite and he can't serve. There's no mitzvot saying that he can't. So, but if you were ever wondering, it's like, okay, well, he has Abner, who's his cousin. Everybody that's in the court of Melech Shaul is a Ibir. But you have this oddball Edomite that's in there. Why? Well, it shouldn't be that hard. He can work. It says he's a servant. It says his name was Doeg, the Edomi, the head of Shaul's shepherds. Said, David said to Achimelech, perhaps you have here with you a spear or sword. And we know why that is, because the Philistines have all of the weaponry. They can't go down to Philistine to get their weapons sharpened because it costs too much, right? Perhaps you have here with you a spear or sword. I brought neither my sword nor my weapons because the king's mission was urgent. The Kohen said, the sword of whom? Who was Goliath? Yeah, that's that David and Goliath story. Goliath, the Philistine, you killed in the Elah Valley, is over there behind the ritual vest, wrapped in a cloth. If you want it, take it. It's the only one here. David said, there's nothing like it. Give it to me. The same day, David took flight from Shaul and went to Achish, the king of Gath. Where is Goliath from? Gath. So, what did I say earlier? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And what does David do? Okay? There, he speaks it out loud. He says, may your goal be accomplished even through your enemies. Okay? So David now is going to his enemies, which is the enemy of Israel and Shaul. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. The same day, David took flight from Shaul. He went to Achish, the king of Gath. The servant of Achish said to him, you're going to learn a cool word here in a minute, if I can get to it. Isn't this David, the king of the land? No, right off the bat. David's notoriety is way more than Shaul's. They already think that he's the king already. Isn't David the king of the land? Weren't they dancing and singing to each other? Shaul has killed thousands, but David, his tens of thousands. So after they kick their butt and they kick Goliath's butt, they're singing this song, but they have it in their head. They know what that is. That's like that song you can't get out your head. You're going to be singing that for the rest of the day. Thank you. These remarks were not lost on David and became very much afraid of Achish, king of Gath. Okay, he's on to him. He knows who he is. He knows his notoriety. So, as they were watching, he changed his behavior and acted like a madman. Now, the word in Hebrew, we're going to get down to it. It's already written in here. Like a madman, when they had hold of him, scratching marks on the door of the city gate and drooling down his beard. So he's scratching at the city gate, acting like a madman, and drooling. See how annoying that is already? Like, please, would you move on? Achish said to his servants, here you see this man, a Meshuggah. So that's your next. Remember how I came to y'all and I said last time, I said, you need to get this Hebrew word or a phrase in you. And Shaul's a prophet too. That's when you see somebody and you're like, really? You do that as well? I didn't think you had it in you. So Shaul's a prophet too? Now you got this other word now. When you see somebody crazy, which you're probably going to use today on somebody, you Meshuggah. That's a word for crazy. It says here, you see this man is Meshuggah. Why bring him to me? Am I short of Meshuggahim? Am I short of crazy people? And this is the guy that beat Goliath? Is that why you've brought this one crazy? Is that why this one to go crazy on me? Must I have this one in my house? David left there and took refuge in the cave of Adullam. When his brother had heard and the rest of his father's family heard of it, they went down to see him there. Then all the people in distress, in debt, or embittered began gathering around him. He's got a crowd now. And became their leader. There were about 400 with him. David went from there to Mitzpeh of Moab and said to the king of Moab, something that we'll discuss next week. So let me bless you. We got something today? We're continuing on with this our little soap opera between these two guys. So, if anything, we just open up the text and expound upon it more and found other mitzvot that are there that we may have never seen before. Case study, all right? Yivareka Yahweh v'yishmareka. Yair Yahweh panav eleka v'huneka. Yasa Yahweh panav eleka v'yasam lecha shalom. Which simply means in the English tongue, may Yahweh bless you. May Yahweh keep you. May Yahweh make his face to shine on you and show you his favor. May Yahweh lift up his face towards all of you and give you shalom. Until next time.
We want to thank Ambassador Appleton for this wonderful lesson that he has shared with us today. And as we close, once again, you have the QR code on the screen before you for being able to give a donation to First Tabernacle Fellowship if you learned anything at all from today. He mentioned the calendar, the Hebrew calendar, that's on his website, which is www.hebraicalendar.com. Hebraic with 2 C's. Hebraic with 2 C's. You can get this calendar, and you can also get the new one that's going to be coming out. Also, as we close, I want to mention once again that the book Torah for Hebrews in Exile is also available for you on Amazon. And while Ambassador Appleton mentions a lot of Torah mitzvot, the only ones that are in this book are the ones that remain for us to live by in this exile. Not all the rest of them, only the ones in this exile. You can get this book on Amazon also. Once again, it contains the information that's going to help you really to be able to know that you can have an eternal life, because the Most High's words to you is what? These words I'm giving you today shall be life to you. And he gives us one word to go along with that. He says, obey. King David says, I meditate upon your ways and your mitzvot and your laws day and night. But you can't meditate upon something that you don't know. I put them in this book so that you can have some a word to remind you what is important to you as a Hebrew in exile. We say to you today, Shalom.